Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today, we're rediving into a complex and often misunderstood topic. The cities in Australia where undocumented or overstaying immigrants are most commonly found in 2025. These numbers reflect trends in migration, visa overstays, and socioeconomic conditions, and are based on recent reports and estimates. Let us take a closer look at the 10 cities in Australia with the highest estimated number of undocumented or visa overstaying immigrants this year. Before we start, this video is for educational purposes only. We do not condone illegal immigration, nor do we aim to target any individual or community. Our goal is to explore demographic trends with respect and context. 10 Wollongong, NSW. This coastal city may surprise you, but with its proximity to Sydney and more affordable living conditions, Wollongong has quietly become a destination for many temporary visa holders, especially students and working holidaymakers. The University of Wollongong attracts thousands of international students each year, and while the vast majority follow immigration laws, some overstay their student or bridging visas due to financial hardship, academic issues, or complications with visa renewals. Additionally, Wollongong's growing hospitality and construction sectors often rely on seasonal labor, some of which falls into undocumented status when workers remain beyond their authorized period. Its smaller size compared to Sydney makes it less scrutinized by immigration enforcement, which may contribute to it becoming a quiet hub for visa overstayers trying to avoid detection. Would you like the same treatment for number 9 through number 1? 9 Hobart, Tasmania. Tasmania's charming capital may look quiet on the surface, but it's experiencing real shifts in its immigration dynamics. Over the past few years, Hobart has seen a noticeable rise in the number of temporary visa holders, particularly those working in agriculture, aged care, and hospitality, industries that often face labor shortages. Many migrants come here on seasonal work or student visas, but not all return home when their legal stay expires. The growth of regional migration programs has brought more attention to Hobart, but at the same time, the limited resources and slower visa processing times have left some migrants in legal limbo. In some cases, applicants waiting for visa renewals fall out of legal status unintentionally. With its lower cost of living compared to mainland capitals and a growing international student population, Hobart has become an appealing, though risky, refuge for those who overstay, hoping to find work or transition to permanent residency in time. 8 Canberra, Scapataea's capital ISNT, just home to government buildings and national monuments. It's also a hub for international diplomacy, education, and migration. Canberra's highly regarded universities, including the Australian National University, attract thousands of international students each year. Many come on student visas, and while most comply with immigration laws, some face challenges that lead to overstaying, including academic pressure, financial strain, or a lack of pathway clarity after graduation. Canberra is also home to dozens of embassies and consulates, which makes it a destination for foreign diplomats, officials, and international visitors. Some individuals arrive on diplomatic visitor or temporary skilled visas and remain beyond their allowed stay, sometimes intentionally and sometimes due to administrative or legal complications. Despite being a smaller city by population, Canberra's transient population, mix of short-term international residents, and relatively low-profile immigration enforcement presence make it a discreet place for some undocumented migrants to blend in. Its quiet neighborhoods and high demand for care workers and cleaners can also provide off-the-books job opportunities that allow visa overstayers to survive, at least temporarily. 7 Gold Coast, GLA. Known worldwide for its stunning beaches, vibrant nightlife, and booming tourism industry, the Gold Coast is a magnet for international visitors, especially young travelers on working holiday and student visas. The city's casual job market, particularly in hospitality, retail, and event services, draws thousands of short-term migrants each year looking to earn money while enjoying the laid-back lifestyle. But not all visitors leave when their visas expire. Some working holidaymakers, enticed by the lifestyle or struggling to find opportunities back home, overstay their visas and attempt to live under the radar. Others may lose track of their visa expiry dates, fall into exploitation by unscrupulous employers, or find themselves unable to meet the conditions required to extend their stay legally. The Gold Coast's high volume of tourists and transient population allows some undocumented individuals to blend in relatively easily. Shared housing, cash-in-hand jobs, and limited immigration checks in tourist-heavy zones contribute to the city's growing but largely invisible population of visa overstayers. As the tourism sector bounces back post-COVID, so too has the influx of temporary migrants, creating both opportunity and concern for local authorities. 6. Adelaide, SA. Often overlooked in discussions about Australia's major cities, Adelaide has quietly become a key destination for migrants, including those who eventually overstay their visas. Known for its affordable cost of living, steady job market, and growing international student population, Adelaide appeals to those seeking a quieter, more manageable entry into Australian life. The city's universities, like the University of Adelaide and Flinders University, bring in thousands of international students, and many transition to temporary graduate visas after completing their studies. But when employment opportunities fall through or visa pathways become unclear, some choose to remain in the country beyond their legal stay in hopes of eventually finding a sponsor or securing another type of visa. Adelaide also relies on temporary migrant labor for sectors like agriculture, aged care, and construction. In rural and outer suburban areas, enforcement of immigration laws is less visible, and some workers end up in long-term undocumented situations, often due to misinformation, poor legal advice, or fear of deportation. Because Adelaide lacks the dense population of cities like Melbourne or Sydney, undocumented residents may go unnoticed more easily, especially when supported by established community networks that help them find housing and off-the-books work. 5. Perth, WA. Perth, the capital of Western Australia, is a city shaped by mining booms, migration waves, and economic opportunity. Its remote location hasn't stopped it from becoming a major draw for temporary skilled workers, international students, and backpackers, many of whom arrive on short-term visas tied to employment or study. The mining and construction industries in Western Australia often rely on fly-in fly-out workers. During peak periods, demand for labor has led to an influx of foreign workers on sponsored or temporary visas. But when contracts end or visa conditions change, some migrants find themselves without a pathway to stay, yet unable or unwilling to return home. The result? An increase in individuals slipping into undocumented status. Perth's multicultural suburbs, especially areas like Cannington, Mirrabooka, and Armidale, offer community support and connections that can provide cover for those living in the country without valid visas. Many undocumented residents take jobs in hospitality, cleaning, or construction, often underpaid and without legal protection. And because of its geographic isolation, immigration enforcement in Perth is less frequent and less visible than in the eastern capitals, making it easier for visa overstayers to go unnoticed. Despite efforts to tighten visa rules, the city remains a hotspot for undocumented migrants navigating the grey areas of Australia's immigration system. 4. Brisbane, QLD Brisbane, the sun-soaked capital of Queensland, has become one of Australia's fastest-growing cities, and with that, growth has come a rise in temporary migrants, international students, and unfortunately, visa overstayers. Known for its relaxed lifestyle and lower cost of living compared to Sydney or Melbourne, Brisbane is an attractive choice for newcomers trying to build a future in Australia. The city is home to major universities like the University of Queensland and Queensland University of Technology, which attract thousands of international students, but not all students succeed in completing their programs or securing graduate visas. Some overstay often due to financial pressures, academic failure, or problems navigating Australia's complex visa renewal system. Brisbane's expanding suburbs also provide off-the-books work in industries like food service, cleaning, childcare, and construction, sectors where undocumented workers may go unnoticed and unreported. Many of these individuals live in shared housing or stay with friends and relatives in migrant communities, allowing them to avoid detection for years. Additionally, with nearby regional zones offering alternative migration pathways, some migrants attempt to bridge the gap between visa types by overstaying temporarily, a legal risk that doesn't always go according to plan. With a warm climate, welcoming, multicultural vibe, and a booming economy, Brisbane has become both a destination and a safe haven for those who VA slipped out of the legal immigration system, often unintentionally. 3. Melbourne, Vic Melbourne, a city of culture, coffee, and diversity, is one of Australia's most multicultural and international cities. With over 5 million residents and vibrant communities from nearly every corner of the globe, Melbourne has long been a top destination for immigrants, both legal and undocumented. The city hosts some of the country's largest universities, including the University of Melbourne, Monash University, and RMIT, making it a major hub for international students. But as tuition and living costs continue to rise, many students find themselves struggling financially. Some drop out, while others fail to transition into graduate or skilled migration visas, leading to overstayed student or bridging visas. Melbourne's massive labor market, especially in hospitality, logistics, retail, and cleaning, provides opportunities for those willing to work for cash, often under the table. This allows undocumented individuals to survive, but it also exposes them to workplace exploitation and legal risk. Suburbs like Footscray, Springvale, and Dandenong have large immigrant populations, which can provide both community support and anonymity. What makes Melbourne particularly attractive to undocumented migrants is its size and complexity. With thousands of international arrivals every month, it's easier to blend in, avoid scrutiny, and remain under the radar, at least temporarily. Community organizations and migrant advocacy groups here often report helping overstayers who are trying to regularize their status, showing that many are not hiding by choice, but by necessity. Sydney is Australia's largest and most globally connected city, and naturally, it sees the highest volume of international arrivals each year. From students and tourists to skilled workers and asylum seekers, people come to Sydney for opportunity, safety, and a chance to build a better life. But with that volume also comes a significant number of individuals who overstay their visas or fall out of legal status. Home to world-class institutions like the University of Sydney and UNSW, Sydney attracts tens of thousands of international students. Many complete their studies and transition into the workforce legally, but others face obstacles like visa rejection, family emergencies, or financial hardship, which may lead to overstaying. Some students or working visa holders are misled by agents, or fall into scams that promise permanent residency but deliver nothing. The sheer size of Sydney makes it an ideal place to disappear in plain sight. Suburbs like Auburn, Fairfield, Lakamba, and Parramatta are home to vibrant migrant communities where undocumented residents can find support, shelter, and informal job opportunities, often in cleaning, hospitality, aged care, and rideshare driving. Enforcement is active, but limited resources and the volume of migration make it difficult to track every visa violation. Many undocumented individuals live in fear of deportation, but choose to stay in Sydney, hoping for eventual immigration reform, a partner visa, or a change in personal circumstances that could reopen legal pathways. Sydney isn't just a city, it's a migration machine. And while most of that machine operates within the rules, a growing number of people are slipping through the cracks. One Dandenong Vic taking the top spot on our list is not a capital city, but a single suburb, Dandenong, located in the southeastern part of Melbourne. Often referred to as one of the most multicultural areas in Australia, Dandenong has become a hotspot for new migrants, refugees, and increasingly undocumented residents. Why Dandenong? The answer lies in community density, affordable housing, and established ethnic networks. When people overstay their visas, they often seek shelter in places where they can find support, familiarity, and anonymity. Dandenong offers all three, with large populations from South Asia, the Middle East, and Africa. Many visa overstayers blend into extended households, often relying on informal jobs in warehouses, food processing, domestic work, or small businesses. The area's lower visibility to federal immigration enforcement also contributes to the rising numbers. While authorities do conduct operations, many undocumented residents are able to avoid detection by keeping a low profile and moving frequently between addresses. Some live in overcrowded or unregistered housing, and many work for cash, making it difficult for the system to track them. Community groups in Dandenong often serve people in precarious legal situations, offering legal aid, health services, and crisis support. Some overstayers are victims of trafficking or exploitation, while others are simply caught in legal limbo, waiting for asylum claims or visa appeals to be processed, sometimes for years. Dandenong isn't just a suburb. It's a reflection of Australia's complex, imperfect migration system. It represents both the resilience of migrant communities and the challenges of managing undocumented populations in a global city. As you can see, illegal immigration isn't just a border issue. It's tied to work, study, and opportunity. Most people in these situations arrive legally, but overstay their visas due to hardship, misinformation, or lack of options. Australia's immigration laws are strict, but reforms are being debated to address overstays more humanely while protecting national security and job markets. If you found this video informative, give it a thumbs up, subscribe for more content like this, and let us know your thoughts in the comments. Immigration is a sensitive topic. Let's talk about it with respect and openness.